calling all cars, we got another victim. Cause my love has become an affliction. What did you expect from me? What did you expect from me?
You know, I think it's about time to stop torturing myself with really bad games. You know, it's time for me to sploot. I think the phrase is splurge. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this, but why exactly do I have to review shitty games? I'm no angry video game nerd. I'm just some guy who wants to review games for fun, you know, just do some little editing here and there, and I think I'm gonna review Super Metroid, because, you know, we all know it's the greatest fucking game ever, man. I mean, it's just so fucking fun. I mean, if you saw my Let's Play of it, you must enjoy it, and... who the fuck are you? I'm you. From the future. About 20 minutes, give or take. Yeah, I noticed. You do look like me, don't you? Yeah, well, I came here bearing a gift. Shaq Fu. You see, in the future which is mine, yours, whatever, there's actually something that happens to you in the future when you play this game. And I came back to make sure you play it, because it changes your life forever. You see, the reason why I want you to play this game is because it is so infamous known throughout the entire world as the worst game in the world. And you want to figure out why that is, right? No, I don't want to review that. Because if you play this game, you will discover the root of all evil, which is Shaq Fu. So, I'm just going to leave it here. I'm just going to leave, and you're going to review it. Later. That was weird. Well, that's a bad sign. As soon as you start up the game, you're getting your ass kicked. I still sometimes wonder if it was all a fucking joke. I mean, come on, Shaq Fu. The fucking developers were laughing their asses off, I know it. I mean, just look at these characters. It almost seemed like an entirely different game, but they just had to throw Shaquille O'Neal in it. We got Kaori, the crazy furry cat bitch. We got, Beast?
Disconcerting, yet provocative.
Whatever, let's just call him the crazy red skin guy. And we got Set, the shoulder pad Legion of Doom mummy. Memphis, a Green Goblin lookalike, who had a bad day and probably had a bomb blow up in his face. And Voodoo, which is a shaman that uses, voodoo. And Raji, the Arabian Knight. See? All these guys are just entirely fucking generic. And then Shaq is thrown in. Where does he fit? There's also an empty space here, which you would assume it could be the really last boss, like he's probably unlockable or something. But, as far as I know, that's just an empty slot. Nothing occupies that empty slot, It's not important or anything. Might as well add your own little character if you want. The hilarious thing about this game is that it actually has a story mode. Apparently Shaq was playing a charity game in Tokyo and... Wait, what? Pepsi? Huh. Well, what do you know? Where there's Shaquille O'Neal, there's Pepsi. And wouldn't you know it, Pepsi is on the other side of the building. Wait, why is that? The perspective doesn't make sense. You saw clearly that the Pepsi sign was in the background, but why the fuck is it in the foreground here? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, is there Pepsi fucking tags all over the damn place? Clearly they were trying to hammer in Pepsi. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone probably knows this, but there's actually a site dedicated to destroying every cartridge of this game. Damn. There must be a fucking reason other than just, Shaquille O'Neal's sponsors and shit. Well, we're gonna get into it soon enough. Okay, what's going on? Apparently the old man says there's a little boy named Nezu on the other side of the portal, which needs to be rescued. And for some reason, Shaq goes along with it. I totally like the line where the old man says, "I'm too old to be fighting." Fuck that, Pai Mei, you jump through the portal with me. You could fucking 5-palm explode the heart of all my enemies. But no, too old to fight. I really doubt this guy's just a normal old man. I bet you he does like Tai Chi in the backyard or throws sonic booms around the fucking building. After all, what kind of old man has a portal in his fucking closet? To another world, that is. I really do not understand why he's cooperating with him when he clearly wants to throw him into a portal. And how does this work? Just some guy moseys into a shop and he orders him to go and rescue a child? I wonder why. Oh, I see. It's the Fu Manchu. Because, as we all know, the Fu Manchu is like the Asian mind trick. No one can resist it. They have no choice but to abide by its rules. You see a fucking guy with a Fu Manchu? You'll take his orders. He gives you shit, you do it. Like right now. Get me a fucking Pepsi. Okay, anyway, Pai Mei shoves Shaq into the portal, which they end up in the world, which is the second world. How creative. So anyways, Shaq wakes up inside the world, and I really bet he's regretting jumping through that portal. What you get here is some kind of map, like an overworld, dare I say, sort of screen. What you have to do, I would assume, is go to each little sacred area and fight off each one of the enemies, which are comprised by the characters I discussed earlier. And now, this is where I get to discuss the gameplay. Okay, when I start up the first fight here against the crazy cat bitch, I get my fucking ass kicked. Yeah, I get fucking royally stomped. She fucking rips my guts out and drags my entrails to a nearby cliff and hangs me by my fucking neck. Like, seriously. I can't figure out the controls. Nothing's working. Fucking bitch. And I give up on her and I try Raja and the same result. I just couldn't figure out how to do the moves. I try as hard as I fucking can. And this fucking game is just so broken. I can't even get about how to describe the controls. And boy, it sure is a hard one to describe because the controls are completely unresponsive. Every time I try to move forward, Shaq does not move forward. Every time I try to attack, he does attack, but he has to plant his feet down and kick or punch or whatever. A lot of my punches and kicks are always out of reach. It's really hard to describe how broken the controls are. And I find myself jumping all over the place just so I can get my ass moving. I can't even figure out the basic controls of how to block. The freaking computer knows how to use the broken controllers far more than I do. She's blocking and doing all this shit I can't do, and why can't the controls be easy to use like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? No. It has to be some cryptic button that I just cannot figure out on my own. So, what do I do now? What do I do? I have to fucking look it up. I have to look up how to fucking play a fighting game. Because I can't even do the basic shit like blocking, which you should know what to do. Normally, in normal fighting games, you would back up to, automatically block. That's pretty standard when it comes to these games. But here's how you do it. Apparently backing away from your enemy is a way of blocking, but that's not entirely how it works. It's meant to block physical attacks. Most of the time I was trying to back away to block the projectile attacks, but it never worked. But the whole trick behind that is that you have to enforce a shield around yourself, done by pressing down and L. Okay? The shield is meant to block projectile attacks. So there you go, that's the whole fucking problem. You have two separate ways of having to block. You have to either block projectile attacks with the shield, but the normal attacks go through. All the freaking attacks can be blocked simply by pressing back, as long as you predict if it's either a high blow or a low blow. That is hard enough to try and figure out. Even when figuring that out, there's no way you'll be able to predict if someone's going to throw a projectile, because my natural instincts tell me to press back to block an attack, even if they're projectile. I've never heard of such a ridiculous thing. I kind of see what they were trying to do, trying to throw a bit of a curveball in the attacks and defense, but it really doesn't work here. The broken controls, and not to mention, trying to do a fucking special move is fucking hard. I mean, I kind of get what they were trying to do. I guess they were trying to make it so you can't crack off the move every 2 seconds or something. I don't know if it's my controller being busted or not, but just trying to pull off a simple move like back forward punch just to throw a projectile. And look at this! It looks like fucking Krillin's Destructo Disc. Where the fuck did Shaq learn to do that? To be honest, it was not the move I was expecting. I was expecting him to shoot a nuclear basketball or something. Or just throw a basketball. Like, fuck. If you get hit enough times, you trigger a certain Fury mode. This Fury mode is meant to do additional damage to your opponent. But usually most of the time when I get Fury, the enemy pussies off. Typical. So, well, that's the gameplay in a nutshell. But what else should I do? I guess I should try beating the game. It's no easy feat. Trying to master these busted controls are like trying to master putting underwear on your head with your feet while hanging on monkey bars with your pinkies with a soup ladle shoved up your ass. After beating a few of the minions on the first island, you get this weird scene of Beast resurrecting skeleton soldiers back to life. And what relevance does this scene hold? Nothing. Nothing ever comes of it. Not that I know of. You don't fight a fucking skeleton. Whatever. So finally you're able to get to the other island. One may question where the bridge came from, but who cares? We can finally fucking proceed. On this island there's only one enemy, and that enemy is Voodoo. She is a fucking bitch. Took me a few tries to finally beat her. But once you finally do, another magical bridge appears. Okay, I gotta question this. Who is building these bridges? Like, really? It would make more sense if it was anything like Legend of Zelda and it makes a rainbow bridge. But no, it's a fucking wooden bridge. Like, seriously, who the fuck's building these? I don't know, maybe there's some sort of mystical evil carpenter gremlin that lives somewhere in Second World. I mean, fuck, it wouldn't surprise me by now. And the second last enemy is Beast. Man, he is a pain in the ass. It takes him 1 or 2 hits to go into Fury mode, and then he'll fucking stomp your ass and go into Fury once more. It took me plenty of fucking tries to beat this motherfucker. Anyways, we're finally on to the last boss, which is, of course, Set. Fighting this guy was no easy feat, I have to say. He relies on a lot of teleportation moves and his projectile attacks. Not to mention he's a cocky motherfucker. He likes to taunt and then he just, wrecks your shit. Once I beat him, we get the fucking ending. Thanks, Shaq. I am Nezu. You just saved my life. And I did? Sorry I'm late, boys. Let's just say I had to fight some traffic to get here.
Oh my god.
And then next scene, you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. Look, Beast is here. Okay, why? Is anyone gonna question why there's a hideous red beast standing before us playing basketball? No. No one's gonna acknowledge this. Everyone's just gonna be normal. This whole thing makes no sense. This whole game was a fucking busted piece of shit. And I busted my ass playing it for fucking hours. It was not worth my time or effort to fucking review the game itself. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Ridiculous characters, impossibly hard controls, generically horrible fucking music, unnecessary Pepsi plugins, and the absolute worst fucking story I've ever seen in my life. This game must have been something else and they just threw Shaq in. I bet you that was supposed to be the case, because Shaq does not fit in to the story whatsoever. Nor does the boy Nezu. He was just thrown in the ending. What else can I say but this takes the trophy for the worst fighting game on the Super Nintendo, and quite possibly in the entire world. It's like this game has broken a dimension. a dimension of time and space which sucks all life before we know it. Like, it is so bad. Like, I feel so disgusted. Like, I have to talk more about games like this that exist in the world. Games that are bad or good. I need to say something. I need to be a fucking voice. There are many voices out there, but I need to be one of them. I don't care if I lose my mind and go insane. I need to talk about them. I need to be a sort of justice that will punish these games once and for all. Master.
My name is Mr. Big. Did you give him it?
Yes, and we shall commence with phase 2 immediately.
Keep your distance from him. We planted our seed. Give it time to grow. Then when the time is right, then we strike. I'll leave the rest in your capable hands.
I will not fail you.